Stan Coombe. Joining me in commentary this afternoon, Premiership coach for the Rovers Football Club in 2017-2018, Sean Cusack. Finals atmosphere here at Traeger Park today.
Yeah, it's awesome down here today. There's a lot of people come out to watch the footy today from the community areas, and this should be a ripping game, this one.
Speaking of the crowd, it's great to see people on the other side, over on the Gap Road side of the ground there. It's filling up all around Traeger Park today.
Yeah, well, that's the beauty of community football. Their communities get right behind their teams, and you come watch their family play, and the guys representing their communities today. What a beautiful day it is for footy, and I'm actually looking forward to this one.
A little bit of breeze around. The captains are out in the middle at the moment, getting ready for the toss. Timmy Pepperell, captain for Ltyentye Apurte, fine young footballer he, and so the captain of Yuendumu, Dion Ltyentye. So they've gone for a couple of young men. They're probably only just 20.
Yeah, well, I think it's all about the future. There's some players out there who've played plenty of years in the community competition, and also playing in the town league as well. I guess they're looking at the future of their communities and their clubs. So I think that's what that's all about today.
It's great trust in your youngsters, just handing over a leadership role like that. Coming into the game, Yuendumu finished third at the end of the minor round. Ltyentye Apurte fourth. I think it was 6 wins, 3 losses for Yuendumu. Ltyentye Apurte 4 wins, 6 losses. They did come into it with a very, very big win last week, Gingies.
Absolutely, and look, there were two very good. The game that I seen last week between Yuendumu and Western Aranda, that was a gripper as well. Yuendumu coming back in the end and winning 69 points to 62 against the Western Aranda Bulldogs. So this will be much different for the Gingies today. They had a relatively easy run against Ltyentye Highway. So this is it's a good preparation for final. So we'll see what happens today.
Yeah, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, isn't it? No injury concerns when you have a nice little romp like that for Gingies. But then Yuendumu will take the point of view that they've had a nice hard hit out against the team who finished second on the ladder. They've had a narrow victory last week, so both can take positives out of what they did last week. Previous meetings this year, I reckon we take more out of the round 5 encounter than the round 8.
Yeah, absolutely. Yuendumu winning 66 to the Gingies 64, and that would have been a ripping game, and Yuendumu winning by 2 points in that one. But then in round 8, the Gingies beating Yuendumu like 143 to 24 points. So, yeah. Yeah,
don't know what to make of that. Sometimes, every now and then, one of the bush teams can't get their full contingent in for various reasons.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I assume that is what's happened on that occasion. We don't see too many blowouts in this country competition. It's notoriously noted for being close.
Yeah, especially in the this competition. Look, the sides are pretty evenly matched, and look, it's going to be it's going to be a really good game today. Already you can see some really good players out there for both sides. You've got Liam Jarrah out there for Yuendumu, you got Darren Young there for the Gingies, and Dylan Ellis there as well for Santa Teresa Gingies. They're super players. Simon Fisher Jr. still out there for the Magpies as well. He's getting on, but I've seen him play last week and he played a really good game. So.
Aaron Sharp, another one there for Yuendumu.
Yes.
He's played footy for NT Thunder. Stars on both sides, experience on both sides, and some great young talent on both sides of the ledger as well. Yuendumu, they were certainly looking very prepared in the lead up to the game. I went down to the change rooms to get some team sheets earlier on. And they were out the back warming up a good 25 minutes before start time.
Yeah, you always know when Yuendumu ready to play. They get here nice and early, and they're out there warming up, and they got their gear on and ready to play. So that shows me, that tells me straight away that they're ready to play and ready to go out there and give this final a crack. I previously played one of the premierships for Yuendumu back in 2005, and I know their culture is if they're there early, they're there ready, and they're ready to play. So this is going to be an interesting tussle.
Bit of a match up between the talls and the smalls too. Yuendumu definitely have an advantage in the height department. So Gingies, they'll be looking to run the ball.
Yeah, that's always been a big part of Yuendumu football. I reckon they've had some really good tall players. You know, as I mentioned, Liam and Simon. You know, they're really tall sets of players. And in the past, you know, with big Leo Jarrah and those sort of players, you know,
Walker.
They're big fellas, tall, but they're also very mobile when the ball hits the ground.
One to keep an eye out on today. I had to look up when I got his name down on the team sheet. The number 19, Zibian Charles. He's a man mountain, Sean. He towered over Liam.
yeah. I guess that's something in the water. I guess with Magpie people, they're big built, but they also can play very well when the ball hits the ground.
Now, it would be remiss of us not to mention the great men that are involved with the coaching of these two sides. Yuendumu, the partnership of Albert Wilson and Marshall Robertson, ably assisted by assistant Randall Wilson.
Yes, yeah.
Someone we know pretty well from my early days in Central Australia, 20 odd years back. And the coaching combination for Ltyentye Apurte, Phil Ellis and Daniel Palmer.
Yeah. Well, it just shows you what it means, you know, like they're older players coming back in coaching, and what a fantastic day this is going to be. You can just tell there's something in the air. There's something good. There's a really good feel around today.
There's a buzz. Traeger Park is the centre of Australian football. We're about to get our first taste on ICTV anyway, finals action in the 2019 season. It's the Country League, Yuendumu versus Ltyentye Apurte, been great rivals over the years. I think if we go back 2 years, Ltyentye Apurte won their first flag for 26 years, and go back to the year before that, and Yuendumu defeated Tea in the grand final of this competition, so they're both tasting success in recent years.
Yep. Quality groups, both got quality groups of players.
We'll see a little bit of a ruck tactic here, Sean. You've done a bit of ruck work over the years. I mentioned Zibian Charles. Look at the size of him out there in the middle for Yuendumu. Donovan Mullendad coming in on the angle, just stepping over the line.
Yeah, well, that's just Donovan, you know, showing his experience. Donovan's been around for a while as well, and he's not going to go head with the big man. He's going to come in from the side, and that's a tactic. When you're a bit smaller in the ruck, that's what you've got to do. You sort of got to come in from the side and attack the body, which is great, which is good thinking and good coaching by Phil Ellis already. Already we're starting to see the tactics come into play.
Ready to get underway, semi-final action in the Country League in Central Australia, and maybe a falcon to get it going forward from Donovan Mullendad. They shrugged the tackle there, getting a handball away, Jerome Dixon, and now the kick from half back to Yuendumu towards half forward. A mark taken there on the in the back line for Santa Teresa. Didn't have a number 30 down on my team list. He's got it out to Dylan Ellis on the far side wing. The speedster's off. Kicks inside 50. And a strong mark taken in the hands by the veteran, former Minahan medalist Darren Young.
Yeah, that's just experience, you know. I spoke about Youngie earlier on today. And look, led out nice and strong, and took the hands out, took the mark, hands out in front.
Off to a lightning start, Ltyentye Apurte. Darren Young puts their first goal on the board. We're only 45 seconds in. The Gingies one straight 6. Yuendumu yet to score on the Power and Water scoreboard.
Wasn't that just automatic too? It was just like ball out of the centre, straight to Youngie. Really good play there by Santa Teresa. Fantastic effort. And the ruck contest there was it was even right down the middle. So that's what Donovan's doing in the guts there. He's making that an even ruck contest in there.
I reckon his tap was with his head.
Absolutely.
That last contest, but that'll do as long as he nullifies.
You do anything when you're rucking against a ruckman like the big fella there for the Yuendumu.
Oh, this time Big Charles gets his hands on the foot. He gets it moving forward in Yundumu's direction only momentarily though. Tap back Gingy's way by Justin Hayes, now up to the half forward flank. Oh, nice little handball received by Simon Bluefield. Kicks with the outside of the right boot. It went inside 50, then rebounded back outside the 50. Ball gathered just inside the boundary line, but not able to keep it in. Simon Bloomfield.
Yeah, and I think Yundumu's defence was onto that today. They, just from that first start, Ltyentye come out really hard at the player there, which is, I think, an indication of what happened earlier on. Just being up and about and being ready for when that ball comes down to their defence.
I think we just saw the strength of Molindale that's going to be at the boundary throw-ins. You had the better of that, but Yuendumu are the ones that clear it out. Jamie Nelson just got beaten the ball in time up towards centre wing, and Fabian Dixon now with the footy. Talented youngster. You have a look at the first 3 surnames on the Yuendumu team list. Dixon, Fabian, Jerome and Hamish, and now with the footy is Jerome.
Yeah.
Can play a bit too, this bloke. Nice, long, left-footed kick. Gets it inside 50, looking for Liam Jarrah. Up with the one hand, couldn't take the mark. Maxwell Maneri dispossessed of the footy. Clever little tap to himself. Scott Young couldn't pick the footy up though. Whistle's gone. Free kick will go to Yuendumu. Sebastian Watson.
Yeah, look, got him a bit high there, and Sebastian Watson showing a bit of experience. The young fella got out, but Sebastian corralled him in, and really good effort there by Watson.
And, would have marked this down a few years back. He's been around for a while. Sebastian Watson played in many a premiership, been one of the all-time greats of bush footy. 45 metres out. It skews out to the right, 3 for 1 behind. The Magpies have their first score on the Power and Water scoreboard. Ginger Porter 1 straight 6.
Just sort of mistimed it there, Sebastian, and I think being that experienced player, if you give him another go, I think he'll do much better with that kick.
Here's another experienced player with the footies in his hands. Maxwell Maneri. Dangerous little kick towards Timmy Pepperell, who was equal to the challenge. Jarrah came in, got the spoil in, but Pepperell the first to recover. Kick out towards the half-back flank. 2-on-2 the contest out there. Now 3-on-2 in favour of Gingies. The third came in. It'll even up as they tap it back towards the wing on that Gap Road side of the ground. Plenty of players around the footy, but it's not going to come out of the pack.
Oh.
Now it does. In the Magpies' favour. Handball brilliantly intercepted. Kane Lynch it was, tried to get boot the ball while he was lying on the ground. There's another strong tackle by the little fella. Kane Lynch gets the free.
That was just smart. He just grabbed him by the arm and didn't allow Sharp to get the footy away.
So now Simon Bloomfield kicks it forward for Ginger Porter. The ball off hands from the marking contest over the boundary line, and a boundary throw in right underneath the Tree of Knowledge.
Yeah, the famous Tree of Knowledge. It's been around for years and years and years.
Many a learned comment has come over the fence from that direction. At the boundary throw, there's Mullindad using his weight advantage just to bump Charles out of the contest. But again, it's Yuendumu that get the clearance. Kick back towards the wing. Ball spills to the back. Maxwell Maneri took it. Got the slick little handball over to Scott Young. Young kicks inside 50, the defender in the front position. And he's been paid the mark to kick towards goal.
Which way has he gone?
You can't pay an advantage if it was a Gingy mark, because it's a mark. Only a free kick, but I think he's paid it to the man in front.
To Yuendumu.
Again, there was nice movement of the footy inside the attacking 50 by the Gingies. Game settled down a little bit now. So from inside the defensive 50, gone the top here. It's off the side of the boot a bit. It's going to roll out of bounds for a boundary throw in 55 out from goal. They can't call that deliberate.
No, it obviously went off the side of the boot. Just mistimed it and went out of bounds. But like you said, Stan, the pace has gone out of it a little bit. Now it's up to the players to really grind away and work through this first quarter.
So the boundary throw-in on Ginger Porter's attacking 50. It's a very shallow boundary throw-in, and that's been picked up by the field umpire. We'll go through the process again. And this time it's Oscar White doing some ruck work for Yuendumu, and he was up against Quinton Ross. So not the two ruckmen we've seen going head-to-head. They're probably dropping a kick behind the play. Sebastian Watson back down there in defence now. We saw him in attack earlier. Got the handball away, the kick towards half-back, and the mark's been taken by the big ruckman. They were playing a kick behind the play. Zibby and Charles with the footy.
Yeah.
Long, high kick towards the wing. Oh, I thought the player was going to fly from behind. Maxwell Maneri held the front position there for Ginger Porter. Gordon Mullindad dived over the footy. The umpire picked out a kicking in danger.
Had a free kick there.
Gordon Mullindad, the general manager, gets the free kick and 50 metres.
They didn't give the ball back to him properly, Stan, and unfortunately, it's a 50-metre penalty.
So that'll get him all the way up towards half forward. 6.5 minutes gone opening term. Ginger Porter lead by 5 points on the Power and Water scoreboard. Looking for Darren Young on the lead, and why wouldn't you? The sandwich in between two defenders. Too tall, good hands.
Strong hands. Early in the game, he's got an opportunity to kick his second.
A Minahan medalist back in the day when Bush teams were playing against town teams. He did it against the best in Central Australia, not just the Bush competition.
Absolutely.
Young shot at goal. He's kicked 2. Ginger Porter have got the first 2 of the game in the semi-final. They're 2 straight 12. Yuendumu 1 point on the Power and Water scoreboard.
When Santa Teresa do go direct, and then they just go directly to Young. Like there were two Yuendumu players on Young then, and he took. That was a fantastic mark. Just really strong, eyes on the footy. Great mark.
Wonder how long before we see Simon Fisher Jr. standing on him.
Might need to make some changes. Yeah.
He's on David Wongway, I think, at the moment.
And he's a dangerous player as well. So one standing up at the moment.
Ball up back in the middle. Bit of breeze down there, as you can hear coming through the headsets. It's out of the middle.
Sharp.
Aaron Sharp for Yuendumu. Got the kick inside 50. Little handball slipped out. A quick kick in towards goal here for the Magpies. Will go close. Oh, soccer off the ground by Jamie Nelson's hit the post.
Unlucky. Yeah.
Always the opportunist. So 2 behinds for Yuendumu. Ginger Porter 2 straight goals, 12. We're just trying to find out this player's name with the number 30 on. We didn't have him on our team list. It's his second good possession out of defence. Got it up towards the wing. Simon Bloomfield under a little bit of pressure. Put the handball down in front of himself. Picked it up and then kicked away to the half-forward flank where Quinton Ross has taken the mark.
Jamal Lynch, that is, number 30.
Thank you very much. Oh, and there's another mark inside 50. This time it's Wongway.
Plays for the South Footy Club in the town competition.
So Wongway to shoot for Ginger Porter's 3rd. He'll be kicking from right on 50. Great talent.
Absolute star in the town comp and in the community comp, and he's got a really good kick on him.
So from 49.5 metres out directly in front, straight over the goal umpire's head. David Wongway gets Ginger Porter's 3rd goal. They're off to a lightning start. 3 straight 18. Yuendumu 2 points.
It's the big guys up forward, the 2 danger men, Young and Wongway. Wow.
Tell you what, looks can be deceiving, Sean, because Yuendumu really did look ready to go. They were prepared.
Absolutely.
Well in advance of start time.
Maybe the preparation was too early. We don't know. Sometimes it takes a team a quarter to get themselves into the game. Maybe too early. Maybe.
Now Donovan Mullendad.
He's changing things up, Donovan.
Again, he will come in from this angle. They used to call it check side in South Australia, check side ruck work. Rick Davies used to do it because he used to have a giveaway inches. And Mullendad's won that. He slapped it down Dylan Ellison's throat. A little bit too hot for him to handle. Jerome Dixon with the kick out of the middle for the Magpies. And that's Simon Fisher Jr. playing at half forward.
Yep, and they're looking to go long, but they've got to go short. Watson.
Oh, Sebastian, yeah, nice grab. From just outside 50. Looking for Jarrah, got to the front position. Awesome courage shown by the player running back with the fly to the footy. Ball spills out to the Magpies' way. Quick snap in towards goal by Fabian Dixon. Marked on the last line of defence. And they'll run it out. Fair bit of dash being shown out there. Jackson Kopp, I think it was.
And Jarrah's pulled up a bit sore from that contest as well.
Jamal Lynch with the footy at half back. Back to Jackson Kopp, the player that gave it to him. So a good effort out of defence. Nice kick to the wing and some sticky fingers by Kane Lynch. Took off, had one bounce, kicks inside 50, looking for Wongway. Slipped away from his opponent, got out the back, and he's taken the mark, and he's going to play on with a short pass. 2 of them there, could have raffled it, almost messed it up. Cole Ryder will shoot for goal anyway, and still put it through for Gingies.
Great,
what a
great start. Unbelievable start. Wongway and Young, causing headaches for the Magpies at the moment. But their midfield is so disciplined. When they get the footy, they are just going directly to those 2 players. And the little men, they're just sitting off them. So if they do drop the footy, they pick it up and the way they go. So good game plan, simple, and it's working.
Coast to coast used to the footy that time, and initiated by Jackson Kopp at full back on the last line of defence. Had the awareness.
Absolutely.
Today there was space to run into. This battle back in the middle, and Mullendad is going pretty well. That one's line ball, so he'll settle for that as well. Gordon Mullendad down in there on hands and knees. Little handball slipped out by Aaron Sharp. Got it over towards Sebastian Watson. Went to ground. Ball spills out to Justin Hayes. Nice little handball forward to Dylan Ellis. Low and hard inside 50. Good punch away this time by Nathaniel Sims. It's fallen to the back of the pack. Gingy's had a handle on it momentarily. Little soccer forward. Gets it to the top of the goal square. The Magpies now just trying to rush it out of defence. And that's pretty good play in there.
Well
nice
done.
gather. And the kick will go into the centre of the ground. Got to give mention to Oscar White for that passage of play.
That was fantastic. Yeah.
Kane Lynch sends it back where it came from though. Back inside 50. Dion Lickleitner tracks it towards the boundary line for the Magpies. Picks it up and gets the kick back to Oscar White, the player who did that great bit of play coming out of defence before for Yuendumu. Tom Hargraves with the footy at half-back. Switches play over to Hamish Dixon now. Grandstand side of the ground. He's had a couple of bounces. Dylan Ellis right on his hammer. A third bounce. Nice bit of shepherding. Gave him some further time. Kick goes up towards the half-forward flank now for the Magpies. Jackson Cox comes out to meet the footy. It sure is. Number 24, haven't got him either. It's not the Mack truck, Jason McMillan, is it? The Magpies kick it inside 50 and they've got a mark. Fabian Dixon with it. He can shoot for goal from about 30 out and they need this.
Yeah, I reckon you're right there. That looks like Jason McMillan. Yeah, number 24.
We'll admit that we got these pretty early off Santa Teresa. Still had players coming in. So Fabian Dixon to kick for goal on the angle and he's hooked it a bit too far. Might stay in play here and as the umpire spotted a free kick, holding in the marking contest.
Yeah, Jarrah just using his experience there just to hold front spot and just kept it and unfortunately the Gingy's players just grabbed him there and held him off the footy.
So now Jarrah to shoot for goal. Tightest of angles in the forward pocket. Runs around a couple of steps, opens the angle up, snaps around the body with the right boot. He looks pretty happy with it. Goal umpire Terry Bell's happy with it. First goal on the board to the Magpies. Jarrah kicks it.
Yeah, to say they need it is an understatement. I think they need a settler and a bit of a confidence builder that they could actually kick a goal in this first quarter because the Gingers have been on fire. So it'll be a good settler for the Magpies there. I think Charles has got to change his ruck. He's got to go directly to Donovan in the middle. He can't continue to do that. If he goes directly opposite with him, it'll be just like rucking normal.
So ruck tactics, Sean Cusack knows all about him. Played in a variety of roles over the years, but ruck was certainly one of them.
Yeah, Donovan's gone straight on with him.
That's unusual, and didn't jump against him. Charles went backwards, and this worked out for Ginger Porter again. Justin Hayes tapped it half forward, then picked it up. Got the little kick out there to the half forward flank where there was a little bit of a fumble. Next kick's inside 50. Lester Mullendad there rode the bump. Ball over the boundary line for a boundary throw in.
Really good pressure there by Lickleitner. Just to force that to go out of bounds.
I think the player out there that got it forward for Gingies was Jake Smith. So ball up deep in attack for Ginger Porter. 4 straight goals, 24. Yuendumu 1 goal, 2-8. Gingies kicked the first 4 goals of the game. They've got it deep in attack once more. Quinton Ross, good ruck work. Then he did the roving and he snaps around the body with the right boot. Soft line under pressure, out of bounds on the full.
Dangerous again. I think even where the ball's getting balled up into, like thrown in from, it's a bit of an advantage, I guess, for the attacking team because it brings the goal face more open. Yeah. So I'm not sure if the teams have sort of switched on in regards to that advantage that they could get.
As a defending team, you wanted it close to the boundary line as you could get it.
Absolutely.
It's taken a little while to get this footy back, and no time on in country league games, not even in the finals, and the clock continues to tick down and we miss out on some of this great action. Dion Lickleitner now plays on with a little kick to himself and he doesn't have to do that. It wasn't even after a bind either. He's had the bounce, gets out the defensive 50, touches it on the ground. He went one way and then the other. He's pretty well corralled there by Big Youngie. The kick into the middle is good. Jerome Dixon takes the mark on the chest.
That was a ripping pass.
In fact, Hamish Dixon it was. Kick towards half forward. The ball spills off hands. Just inside that attacking 50 for Yuendumu. Fabian Dixon picks it up one way, then the other. Just a little handball away. The quick kick will bounce inside the attacking 50. A bad bounce for Simon Fisher Jr. Went at right angles to where he wanted it to go. Some good tackling down there by the Gingy defence. Ball still only 40 out from Yuendumu's goal. Jamal Lynch, the handball to Kane Lynch. And now Ginger Porter out of trouble. Looks for Donovan Mullendad. His opponent went to ground. Big Charles Mulligan over the footy, took it on hands and knees, got the handball out, then a tackle from behind. I think the umpire might have called it a throw.
A free kick there. Might have been for a throw. Yeah, you're right, Stan.
It's gone to Yuendumu. Bad luck for Donovan Mulligan. He did pretty well. Big man down on hands and knees, and Big Charles gets the free kick. So he'll just chip it out wide and put it out in front of Hamish Dixon. On the Gap Road side wing. Kicks towards half forward. Footy taken on the bounce by Tom Hargraves. His kick inside 50. Intercepted by Jamal Lynch. He sends the Gingies forward again. Got it to Quinton Ross, who marks on the half-back flank. Nice looking kick from him too. David Wongway now with it at half forward. It's pretty vacant inside 50. Signalling for Youngie to go. He's a long way away. The kick's high and long. Youngie a chance, got hands on it. Couldn't complete the mark. Little bit of crumbing or some fumbling as they try and pick it up. Oh, and great defensive work by the Magpies.
It's a free kick.
Maybe not so great then. Certainly held him up. Made life tough.
But you could just see the little fellas just stayed on the ground, waited for the ball to go to Young, and then when the ball hit the ground, they were there.
So Ginger Porter get a shot at goal. It's offline. And through for their first behind. 4-1-25. Yuendumu 1 goal 2-8. That's the Power and Water scoreboard. Trying to pick up, Jake Smith, the player that had the shot at goal. Yep. They're still doing the little kick to themselves from inside the square for a kick in. Dion looked like they latched onto that, but they don't have to do that little kick anymore. Dylan Ellis will drive it back inside 50. Looking for Youngie. He went the fist, probably could have taken the grab that time. Ball slapped out towards the defensive 50 by the Magpies. Justin Hayes picks up for Santa Teresa, stepping one way and then the other. The handball under pressure. Simon Fisher Jr. with his nose over the football. Now Licklighter picks it up. Now low trajectory torpedo. And it's been marked by Travis Collins on the centre circle. Nice one over the top from him. Aaron Sharp. Get it inside 50. Nice pass. Ezekiel Paulson with the mark for Yuendumu.
Still got a few players, but the best thing would be to slow it down, have a shot.
Magpies have just steadied a little bit in the last 5 minutes. There's only about 45 seconds to go before quarter time as Donovan Mulligan comes off for a well-earned rest.
Well, Collins is fantastic, got it sharp. Now they get an opportunity to score.
Paulson's shot at goal is offline, through for 1 behind. They moved their score on the 1 goal 3-9. Ginger Porter a 4-1-25 Power and Water scoreboard as we close in on quarter time of the semi-final. The kick in well intercepted there by Ezekiel Paulson. Got a hand on that and seen it over the boundary line, so they might get one last opportunity with 15 seconds left on the clock.
Just by doing that, just creates another opportunity for the Magpies to go inside 50 again and have a go at scoring. Really good effort there by Paulson.
Simon Fisher Jr. do the ruck work. Might have been Jamal Lynch had the better of it though. The big fella, Carl Ronson, gets a handball away. His first touch, having just come onto the ground. The siren sounds for quarter time. Ginger Porter off to a great start, 4-1-25. Yuendumu steadied late, 1-3-9 on the Power and Water scoreboard. But that felt like finals footy, Sean.
Absolutely, absolutely. The way that the Gingies started, they were fantastic. Young, Wong Wei, those blokes absolutely killed them in the air. Then, Yuendumu came back and Jarrah, the superstar from Yuendumu, kicked a goal. So that sort of settled them down and they've had some good play since then.
Great to see finals action on ICTV. Stay with us, plenty more to come. We'll go for a break now for quarter time.
Many remote communities are running low on water.
Water is precious in our community. What can I do to protect the water? Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm hunting.
What for?
For big uranic. It's just like hunting for a bush tucker. Saving this water is more precious than bush tucker. See the track and listen. You can hear the sound. Go and hunt for leak and save the precious water in your community. We finally get to do the leak. Either we can turn it off or go and find the right person if it's bad.
I love going hunting for bush tucker. I can hunt for lynx too.
And you can do it too. and save the precious water for your community.
Hey Nev. Hey Toby, this is Milpa. Milpa's helping all the kids have strong eyes so they can play footy like us.
Oh yeah, is that because there's still some trachoma, making kids eyes sick?
That's right, and stopping trachoma is easy.
Is it? How?
All you have to do is blow your nose, wash your face whenever it's dirty.
True.
It's like washing your hands after going to the toilet. We do it all the time, even if we can't see the germs.
So Nev, by cleaning your face, you stop germs from snotty noses and mucky eyes spreading?
Yep.
So remember, clean faces, strong eyes.
Bachelor Institute offers training and education in community or on campus in Alice Springs and Bachelor. Courses include media, construction, health and many others. To find out more about what we can offer you, free call 1800 677 095.
Many remote communities are running low on water. Water is precious in our community.
Hey, what are you doing? Just filled up the dog bowl. What are you doing?
I'm going shopping.
Oh, cool. I'll come with you.
Hey, you left the water running. The water's going everywhere, doing nothing. That's a waste. It's all drying up. You need to remember to turn off the outside taps. What can I do to help protect the water? Yep, never walk away from a flowing tap. Always turn it off.
On Territory roads, anything can happen, so you need to drive real careful. Lots of people use the roads, and lots of animals too. Roos, camels, buffaloes and eagles can appear at any time, but especially when the sun's coming up and the sun's going down. So slow down, you mob. Drive to the conditions and you'll arrive in good condition.
Bachelor Institute offers training and education in community or on campus in Alice Springs and Bachelor. Courses include media, construction, health and many others. To find out more about what we can offer you, free call 1800 677 095.
You're watching ICTV, showing our way.
The telecast of this game is brought to you by Power and Water. Power and Water Corporation, supporting local football and saving water.
And welcome back to ICTV's coverage of the 2019 AFL Central Australia season. It's quarter time in the knockout semi-final for the Country League. This telecast proudly brought to you by Power and Water. And we've got a pretty good game on our hands here. 16 points to lead to Ginger Porter over Yuendumu. My name's Stan Coombe. Joining me in commentary, Sean Cusack. And Sean, Ginger Porter certainly had the better of the first term, but Yuendumu seemed like they steadied late.
Yeah, that's it. They had more of the play in the end, Yuendumu, and they seemed to have settled. I was just watching the coaches talk then. Daniel Palmer actually doing most of the talking at the huddle. We all know Daniel Palmer, fantastic footballer from this region, and has also played some NTFL football too for the Warrenshires Football Club. But he was doing most of the talking, and most of the young blokes were engaged and really looked up to what he had to say. So interesting now where that coaching tactics come from, you know, with Philip Ellis and Daniel Palmer doing the duties there.
A little bit of a change in something that we saw in the first term that you could comment on, the ruck contest, because Donovan Mullendad not starting in this second term. He took an interesting tactic into it against a much taller Zibion Charles, but looks like Carl Ronson's going to have to do it a bit different, but he's a better match-up height department.
Yeah, a little bit taller. Maybe that was a plan when Mullendad Donovan Mullendad got out there in the first quarter. To soften him up. We'll see what happens.
Charles probably had the better of that one, but Kane Lynch came in off the wing and picked it up for Santa Teresa. His handball forward, taken by Jerome Dixon, tries to palm off the tackle. Just got boot the ball in time, and a casual one-hander taken by Sebastian Watson.
One-hander.
Pretty casual as he plays off around the man on the mark too. Little short pass forward to Simon Fisher Jr. right on the centre circle. Fisher goes long and direct looking for Liam Jarrah. Jarrah in the front position. Nice punch away from behind by Timmy Pepperell there. That's going to be a great matchup. Up and comer up against the champ of all time. Dashing out of defence here is Scott Young. And away he goes. Real dash here for Gingies. That's about 4 bounces. He's got to just backward of the wing. Kick forward, a bit of a floater. Might get to the Mack truck, it doesn't. Punched away towards Aaron Sharp now for the Magpies. Gathers on the defensive 50. Little kick with the outside of the left boot out to the half-back flank. Socket further forward by a side. Fisher for the Magpies. Nicely read young Scott Young again there for Gingies, having a purple patch. And he gets the kick away towards half forward. They'll come back towards centre half forward. Taken on the bounce by Lester Mullendad. Sold some candy to his own teammate from outside 50. Kicks towards the goal square. One way waiting at the back. Yuendumu had the numbers back there. They should be able to clear out of defence now through Dion Lichtleitner, and that's a nice looking kick too out to the grandstand side half-back flank. Put it out in front of his teammate, who he now has 2 to beat. Dylan Ellis came in to put some pressure on. Ellis with the footy just inside the boundary line. Nice pass. Kane Lynch couldn't hold on to it. Oh, some good hurdling there by Dion Lichtleitner. Footy in hand. He jumped the opponent. Got it to Jerome Dixon. His pass up to the wing. Almost a one-hander to Jamie Nelson. Jerome Dixon back into assist. You can hear the crowd in the grandstand getting excited. Kicking in danger, the call, and the free kick will go to Jamal Lynch for Gingies.
Yeah, he just hassled him and eventually got the free kick for it.
Seems to be heating up early in this second term. Nice kick forward. Mark taken just outside 50, about 70 out from goal by Justin Hayes. He'll pass out wide to Dylan Ellis. Gingies have got a player down not far away from Ellis, who spears it inside 50. Footy punched away from behind. Dion Lichtleitner gets the crumbs for Yuendumu. The spoiler was Isaiah Fisher. Lichtleitner's kick is good. And the mark taken by Oscar White. Now out to half-back. Frenetic action now in the second term. Sebastian Watson gets around one. The little handball forward to Travis Collins. Collins to centre half forward. The big fella sticks out one hand. Zibion Charles. He can't make it. And Jackson Kopp will clean up for Gingies. Off to Gordon Mullendad. End-to-end footy at Traeger Park. Mullendad kicks inside 50. The ball spills to the back of the pack. One way somehow stripped it off his opponent. Snaps with the right boot and puts it through.
Great effort there. That pace from half-back for the Gingies, really good stuff. But they're actually using the footy too. They're actually kicking to their players and going to their go-to guys, the big men, Longway and Young. The Gingies player here, Stan, he's come off. He's really, really sore.
I think it's Kane Lynch.
Okay.
Just a youngster, son of Charlie.
He's playing some good footy
Has
today
been.
too. He's come off injured.
Let's take him off through the gates. Haven't got him quite through the gates yet, and that's been realised. Then if he does recover, he can come back on. Ginger Porter, 5-1-31, Yuendumu 139, Power and Water scoreboard. Gee, that was hectic stuff.
Scintillating footy there, up, back, really good stuff.
Credit to the defences of both teams too, because they were able to get in and affect some great spoils. Gordon Mullendad, slick hands out of the middle. They go forward again. Simon Bloomfield had a bounce. Lovely pass. Darren Young on the lead out from full forward, hugs it to the big chest. And he'll go back and shoot for goal.
That's what I was going to say. You ain't going to spoil that. He's just leading out really, really well, and his legs, they're old, but they're he's got some pace still beyond him.
Kicking wasn't too bad either. That one drifted late to just miss by a whisker. 3-for-1 behind. He didn't add to the 2 goals he kicked in the first term, but he's looking sharp, Youngie.
Yeah, he's prominent. Longway and Young.
Dion Lichtleitner to bring the ball back into play for Yuendumu. Went for the barrel, didn't connect with it. Still got it out to centre half back, but standing in the road is big Carl Ronson. The man who's come on into the ruck to replace Donovan Mullendad. He's going to play on the little handball to Jackson Kopp. I don't know how effective that was. Kopp was under a little bit of pressure. The ball spilled off hands. Joseph Ross clears out of defence for Yuendumu. Out towards Hamish Dixon, through his fingers. First back to it. Paddles it forward to his own advantage. Now a chance to pick it up on the half-forward flank. He does eventually. Shrugs off the tackle. Then he steps around Jackson Kopp. Little kick forward's pretty effective. Don't know if it went to 15, but the mark's been claimed by Travis Collins, and Collins will deliver inside 50. Fabian Dixon on the lead out from full forward. Not quite the same side as Youngie on the lead out from full forward.
But still very good lead, Stan, and we've got an opportunity to score. But I must mention Hamish Dixon, fantastic effort over there on that wing.
Fabian Dixon, tight angle in the pocket, shot at goal is offline, through for behind to Yuendumu.
He's probably been their better player today, Hamish Dixon. He's just picking up those positions through the middle of the ground and giving his forwards an opportunity to score.
Dangerous kick in here for Gingies. They're outnumbered 2-on-1, and the mark's been taken by Ezekiel Paulson, who heads straight back in towards goal with a kick that'll drift wide again. Successive behinds on the board for Yuendumu. They move on to 1 goal, 5-11. Ginger Porter 5-2-32, Power and Water.
Yeah, kicking. Got to make sure of their opportunities.
Timmy Pepperell able to just amble out of defence. This one's on, player in a fair bit of space. Jamal Lynch taking the mark on the chest. And he'll go further afield over to Bradley Smith. He'll gather on the half-back flank for Ginger Porter. One bounce. Second bounce as he gets past the wing. From the half-forward flank, or didn't have enough legs on the kick there towards half-forward. And Oscar White back there to repel out of defence for Yuendumu. They've got a couple of players loose here. Waiting at the back, Simon Fisher Jr. Don't know if it was left deliberately by Big Charles or not, but Fisher's got it. He looks for Liam Jarrah on the lead. It's over his head. And they had someone waiting behind him too, to Gingies. That's little Scott Young. He's done a couple of good things in this term for Ginger Porter.
Yeah, and I think they're on to that. When Liam Jarrah does lead, they've got 2 or 3 players around him. So the backman will take him, but if the ball gets spilled over the back, they've got their little running players there. So
basically has to mark it.
That's it.
Well, Gingies will crumb it. Gordon Mullendad had it on the wing. Got the kick up to Donovan Mullendad back out on the ground on the half-forward flank. In fact, that might be the Mack truck, I think, Jason McMillan. All very close to the man on the mark. The kick's been smothered. Ball gathered by Quinton Ross. Little handball away. Lester Mullendad under a fair bit of pressure on hands and knees, trying to get the footy out for Ginger Porter. Magpies able to rush it outside the defensive 50, still under enormous pressure here. Just inside the boundary line, they're now clear off half back.
Magpie defence did really well then, Stan.
They did.
Just applied pressure.
Sharp click, got the took the mark on the just back onto the wing, and he's away. 1 bounce, 2 bounces. Oh, then the outrageous dummy from centre half forward delivers inside 50, looking for Jarrah in the front position. This time the mark sticks. He can go back and line up for his second.
Yeah, look,
started with what you mentioned.
Those defensive players there, fantastic effort. You can see that they're buggered now, but they worked really hard. Got the ball out of defence, and now they got their number 1 full forward kicking, having a shot at goals.
Kicked their only goal so far in the opening term. This set shot from 40 metres out. Looks pretty good off the boot, and the goal umpire seems to think it looks pretty good as well. 2 goals on the board to Yuendumu, both kicked by Liam Jarrah. They move their score on to 2-5-17. Ginger Porter 5-2-32.
Yeah, good kick there by Jarrah. Good build up there by Sharp, and fantastic effort by the Yuendumu backs. Hard working, fantastic work just to hold it up, and then eventually when they won the footy there, and then they got it through their midfield and had a shot. It basically only took 2 kicks to get it up to Jarrah. So good effort there by the Magpies.
15 points the margin. If you weren't watching earlier, we'll just remind you, Ginger Porter kicked the first 4 goals of the game before Yuendumu could get a major score on the board. So I suppose since then it's 2-1 in favour of Yuendumu.
They're pegging them back slowly.
Out of the middle, Santa Tree's been pretty good out of the centre. Gordon Mullendad to Lester Mullendad, nice turn. Snaps around the body with the right boot, sends it out into the forward pocket. David Wongway came to meet it, smothered the bounce. Now chance for the Magpie defence, and that's pretty good stuff. A bit of a palm off there, a bit of a Dustin Martin. Tough work in on the boundary line. Well, eventually they do get away from half-back Sebastian Watson with the footy. Comes back out towards the wing on the grandstand side. Ezekiel Poulsen there, all handball away under pressure. Lester Mullendad had done a couple of good things. Little handball forward as he fell to ground. Cole Ryder then over the footy. Oh, he's taken high. The umpire will give Ginger Porter a free kick on the half-forward flank. Cole Ryder, Donovan Mullendad screaming for it on the 50. Oh, just over his head. He couldn't hold on to it. Hamish Dixon picks up. Handball out in front of Sebastian Watson. He gathers at centre half back, almost connected with the torpedo towards centre half forward. Jackson Coppleby there first for Ginger Porter. Maxwell Maneri runs for him out on the Todd Riverside wing. Nice kick from Cop. Maneri marks, turns around and plays on immediately. Kick now towards the half-forward flank. They bring it back in board to Simon Bloomfield, who's got about 70 metres out from goal. Bloomfield low and hard with the pass. That's a magnificent diving mark.
What a kick.
It's a Quinton Ross. That was an absolute ripper.
To get down and grab it as well. Fantastic effort there. When they go direct and straight, their forwards present and look, they get opportunity to score. But look, I want to mention Spencer in that back line. Even though he's unorthodox and he's the way he sort of gets the ball. Oh, come back to it, Steve.
Yeah, because Quinton Ross has put a goal on the board for Ginger Porter. A steadier, they move on to 6-2-38, Yuendumu 2-5-17.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention Spencer and that Yuendumu backline. He's been fantastic. Like, he just sort of gets in the way and he intercepts those kicks that come in. But, you know, that time they couldn't do anything about it. Really low pass and great effort by Ross to finish off the goal.
This term, they've kicked 2 goals to 1 now, Gingy's way.
Be interesting to see who Gingy's put in the ruck here.
Have they got anyone in there? Oh, comes in from half back. I think it's Jamal Lynch. It is. He only got into the square late. Up against Big Zibby and Charles.
Yeah, they're still waiting to shuffle
get the
things around.
6-6-6 sorted out. A 21-point lead to Ginger Porter.
So Big Youngie's off the ground at the moment. He's having a breather.
He's been very, very good today. A great target for them. Zibby and Charles got the tap, but getting there first is Simon Bloomfield. Held while he didn't have the footy. Aaron Sharp trying to make sure he didn't take off with it. It's one of those tough ones.
That was just smart play too. Just kept the ball in front, enticing the tackle, and Sharp, you know, made the tackle, and unfortunately didn't have the footy.
Jake Smith now with the mark for Ginger Porter. He might give it straight back to the bloke who gave it to him. Simon Bloomfield, he does. So just coming across ground, a little switch. Oh, good. Mullendad didn't mark, but cool enough to recover the general manager. Kick up towards the half-forward flank. Sebastian Watson takes it, rides the bump. Little handball away. Nice bit of selling candy there too by the Magpies at half-back. Now the kick inside 50. Taken nicely on the bounce by Liam Jarrah. Feeds the handball off. Left-footed shot for goal. Dion Lichtleitner. Oh, he's hit the post. He thought he'd kicked a goal as it left the boot.
He's come all the way from the last line of defence there, Lichtleitner.
Gee, it would have been a team lifted too for the Magpies. Another point on the board, 2-6-18. Gingy 6-2-38 as Gingy's moved the ball out of defence. Gee, Simon Bloomfield's starting to rack up the possessions.
Oh, yeah, he's got a nice kick on him too, Stan.
Lovely pass, that one as you speak, Sean, right onto the chest of the big Mack truck who marked on centre wing on the Todd River side of the ground. Another pass over the top out to half forward. They'll come back in towards Bradley Smith, try to take it on the toes. Oh, nice slick hands. Kick inside 50's a good one, and this time it's Wongwei's turn to mark.
Wow. I reckon 3, maybe 5 passes just spot on.
Their delivery inside 50, I think we probably saw the contrast there too. Jarrah took that one on the bounce nicely, but it was on the bounce.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've hit the chest so many times, Santa Teresa.
They're so clean.
David Wongwei, can he cap off a great passage of play with a great kick? He can. Terry Bell puts up 2 fingers, and Ginger Porter get another one. They've not only steadied the ship, now they're starting to put a little bit of space between themselves and the Magpies.
Yeah, you're right, Stan. They just got clean skills from that half back line. And the way they build it, there's no rush in it. They just, you know, if there's a player's free there, they kick it to him and then they keep moving the ball forward. They're willing to share, like, you know, go back to where they came from as well, where Bloomfield got the footy. Look, they're looking really good at the moment. Lichtleitner's in the ruck now. Watson's in there as well. We've got Sharp. A bit of experience here. Jamie Nelson's in there as well.
So Lichtleitner versus Jamal Lynch. Lichtleitner tried to pluck it out of the air. Not bad, recovered pretty quick. Got a handball towards Sebastian Watson, who fumbled it back to Lichtleitner, and eventually he got the centre clearance kick. So great work by him in the middle of the ground. Ezekiel Poulsen led in the race to the footy. The boundary line beat everyone.
Yeah, it was good coaching because I think they needed to get some strong midfielders in the middle of the ground because it's starting to get a bit away from Yuendumu at the moment.
Zibby and Charles has probably got his hand on the ball in the ruck contest.
Yes.
It's more than his opponents, but it has been Gingy's getting it out of the middle.
Yeah, yep, they've read it off him, and maybe that's a bit of a plan that they came up with before the game.
This time the wrestle was won by Jamal Lynch, who's flew it onto the boot on a spectacular jump up into the air by Jake Smith. Got a bit of a ride, came down hard.
He's got a free kick for it too. I'm not sure what for, but
I think he initiated the jump.
He went for it, yeah. He almost pulled down a beautiful mark.
with the footy on the half-back flank. Very undecided about where to go. Straight down the line. Gets a bit of a stare from Dion Littleitner after he got rid of the footy. Sebastian Watson involved with a little old 1-2 with Riley White Jr., whose pass forward is good, and the mark taken by Simon Fisher Jr. They're screaming for 50 and they're going to get it. Well, the veteran who's played most of his footy in defence. Chance to go up and kick for goal from pretty close range here. The umpie's calling play on, and he's missed. I wonder where the mark was going to be set.
And I reckon Junior should have just relaxed. I think he was a bit heated after the incident earlier on. He just got to relax, show his experience.
Well, same amount of scoring shots, but a big margin on the board. It's Ltyentye Apurte 7-2, Yuendumu 2-7, and that's a 25-point lead to Ltyentye Apurte as the ball goes out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. I'm just wondering where the umpire was going to set the mark for Simon then.
Yeah, well, that's
was it going to be closer than where he called play on, or he must have crossed it?
And he just kept running, but then the umpire said, "Well, just play on." I think the umpire's got to actually pull him up, and this is where the mark is. Not quite sure where that rule is, but yeah.
So from the boundary throw-in, Dylan Ellis will pick it up for Ltyentye Apurte, snaps around the body with the right boot. Riley White, a little bit of time there to gather after a fumble. Kick towards half forward, nice spoil by the Mack truck. Jason McMillan, Simon Bloomfield taking the ground. I don't think he had the footy, and the umpire agrees. He'll get the free kicked inside the defensive 50s, close to best on ground, this bloke.
Yeah, absolutely, Stan. He's look at that, and he's the most dangerous bloke on the ground at the moment.
Young fella he gave it to has been good too, young Scott Young. Young. Out to the half-back flank, Tim Pepperell showing some agility for a bloke of his size. Kick towards centre half forward. Ball spills over the back to Jason McMillan. Has one bounce, runs to within 50, now 40 out from goal. McMillan goes towards the big sticks, but he's missed through for 1 point to Gingies. Gee, that would have been a killer.
It was all open for him there too. Not much pressure on the ball carrier there. It's dangerous signs for the Magpies.
Oh, that would have made it a 5-goal lead.
Yeah.
The Magpies bring the ball back into play. Out to the veteran, Sebastian Watson marking on the defensive 50. Nice pass from him to Ezekiel Poulsen. Out to the half-back flank, they've got the footy now. A couple options to choose from. Went inboard. Don't think I've got a 24. Oh, he's been called to play on. As he holding the ball?
Just went off the mark. Dylan Ellis was onto it.
So 70 metres out from goal, too far out to score. You would think it'd take a massive torpedo. Might be the sort of bloke who could do it. He's going to go the pass instead. Great work. Ezekiel Poulsen read that well.
He did. He's been quite good today as well for Yuendumu.
Out to Richard McCormick. He kicks to the half-back flank. Oh, that's bounced off the teammate's chest. Here he is, Simon Bloomfield. One way, then the other. Made some time for himself. Kick to the half-forward flank. Ezekiel Poulsen there again. This time he can't take the mark. Oh, his recovery is very good.
Well done.
Kick to the half-back flank. Read by Dylan Ellis. Couldn't take it. Ball spills off the toes there of Richard McCormick. Socket forward by Gingies. Back to Dylan Ellis. Looks up. Goes towards Wongway in the pocket. Oh, great spoil. What a contest that was. Ball spills out now to Isaiah Fisher. Snaps around the body hurriedly up to the wing, and the mark taken by Jamal Lynch for Gingies.
That was Spencer. I spoke about Spencer.
Tyrone Spencer.
Brilliant play by Spencer there.
It's been a rock on the last line of defence. Simon Fisher Jr., oh, he's coughed that one up. Handball straight to Jake Smith. He kicks forward and returns the favour. Onto the chest of a Magpie, Isaiah Fisher, who unloads a torpedo now towards centre half forward. This game got a little bit of everything at the moment. Ball up for grabs. 60 out from the Yuendumu goal. Little handball out of trouble there by Kane Lynch. Back on the ground. That's good to see. Simon Bloomfield under enormous pressure. Taken high. No, the umpire says play on. Lichtleitner kicks inside 50 for the Magpies. They're swarming everywhere. Shot at goal by Travis Collins, who's offline. He had Liam Jarrah standing at the top of the goal square. He could have handballed to as well.
Yeah, they just seem to be rushing it. You know, it's a bit of blood rush, or you just got to calm down. Especially when you're running in it. Maybe the voice isn't there at the moment for the Magpies.
Finals pressure as well. It's hectic out there. It's easy up here. What a half a footy it was, and particularly by Ltyentye Apurte in the knockout semi-final of the Country League. They lead 7-3-45 to Yuendumu 2-8-20. There might be a little bit of a gap on the scoreboard, Sean Cusack.
There's not much in
this is an even contest. Same scoring shots.
No, there's not much in the same scoring shots. If Yuendumu go out there and kick the last 2 or 3 goals, which they should have, but they just rushed, it's game on again. this game's still got a lot to go, and I think we're going to get a close one at the end.
In that quarter, Ginger Porter kicked 3 goals, 2 to Yuendumu, 1 goal, 5. The margin at halftime is 25 points in favour of Ginger Porter. You're watching it on ICTV, brought to you by Power and Water. Stay with us. We'll be back with what should be an exciting second half and the halftime break coming up soon.
Many remote communities are running low on water. Water is precious in our community. Hey, what are you doing?
Just filled up the dog bowl. What are you doing?
I'm going shopping.
Oh, cool. I'll come with you.
Hey, you left the water running. The water's going everywhere, doing nothing. That's a waste. It's all drying up. You need to remember to turn off the outside taps. What can I do to help protect the water? Yep, never walk away from a flowing tap. Always turn it off.
What a mark. Thanks, Maisie. Milpa knows it's important to have strong eyes to see the ball.
How do you keep your eyes so strong?
You get strong, healthy eyes by blowing your nose and washing your face whenever it's dirty.
True.
Yeah, it makes you look really sharp and it stops trachoma.
Wait, what's trachoma?
Trachoma makes your eyes sick. It's caused by germs and the muck in your eyes and snot in your nose.
So it's easy to stop trachoma. I just have to keep my face clean.
That's right.
So remember, clean faces, strong eyes.
Bachelor Institute offers training and education in community or on campus in Alice Springs and Bachelor. Courses include media, construction, health and many others. To find out more about what we can offer you, free call 1800 677 095.
Many remote communities are running low on water.
Water is precious in our community. What can I do to protect the water? Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm hunting
What for?
for big water leak. It's just like hunting for a bush tucker. Saving this water is more precious than bush tucker. See the track and listen, you can hear the sound. Go and hunt for leak and save the precious water in your community. We finally get you to the leak. Either we can turn it off or go and find the right person if it's bad.
I love going hunting for bush tucker. Maybe I can hunt for links too.
And you can do it too and save the precious water for your community.
On territory roads, anything can happen. So you need to drive to the conditions. Speeding can get you into all sorts of trouble. Dirt roads aren't just dusty. When it's hard to see, they're dangerous. At water crossings, remember, you're driving a motor car, not a boat. High water can be deep trouble. All sorts of animals can be on the road, so watch out. And if the weather is bad, slow down, you mob. Drive to the conditions and arrive in good condition.
Bachelor Institute offers training and education in community or on campus in Alice Springs and Bachelor. Courses include media, construction, health and many others. To find out more about what we can offer you, free call 1800 677 095.
ICTV, doing our way, doing our way.
The telecast of this game is brought to you by Power and Water. Power and Water Corporation, supporting local football and saving water.
Good afternoon and welcome back to ICTV's coverage of the 2019 AFL Central Australia season. Time for your Power and Water half-time analysis. A quick look at what's happened in the first half of the Country League semi-final. So far, the score at the main break, Ginger Porter 7-3, 45 to Yuendumu 2-8-20. It's a lead of 25 points after Ginger Porter led by 16 points at quarter time, so able to stretch the margin out by a further 11 points in that second term. The goal kickers so far, firstly for Ginger Porter, 3 to David Wongway, 2 to Darren Young, and 1 each to Kyle Ryder and Quinton Ross. And the goal kickers for Yuendumu, both of them kicked by Liam Jarrah. Can also give you a score from a knockout final in the Community Cup competition earlier today. Laramba 14-9-93 defeated Nuripi 6-3-39. So Laramba move on to the preliminary final, and for Nuripi it's the end of the 2019 season. The same fate awaits the loser of today's game. Ltyentye Apurte made most of the running in the first half, Sean Cusack.
Yeah. If you're, look, they're up and about in both quarters. Lots of run. Did some fantastic centre work. Their two forwards we spoke about earlier on, Wongwei and Young. The great thing about Gingies earlier on is they had a chance to rest Young. So Young is going to come back on the ground in the third quarter, rested, and he'll provide them with that target again. Look, Yuendumu though, I think it's a much closer game than what the score tells us. If they could just kick straight, but I think it just comes with composure and the teammates around the player that's got the footy. They've actually got to say you've got more time than what you realise, because those last three shots that Yuendumu had, one where there was a free kick paid and it could have taken the player right up 15 metres out of goals, and there was another one where the player was running into an open goal. And it just needed voice, no panic, just to settle things down and have a shot at your goal, have a shot for goal. To the Gingies' credit, though, they've created that perceived pressure, and it's something that can eat away in your mind, and but that comes down to that team stuff where the players have got to rally around each other and calm each other down and make sure they get those goals, get those opportunities.
The under-finals pressure can become a little bit
Absolutely.
contagious, can't it? One leads to the next one, it leads to the next one, then everyone starts to feel it.
Well, I've been told ever since I put the boots on, it's 90% mental, and everything else is the other 10%. So if you can get that 90% mental right, which I think Yuendumu are battling with at the moment, it could be very close at the end.
25 points of difference at the main break. That's your Power and Water halftime analysis. You're watching AFL Central Australia footy on ICTV. Back with the second half soon.
The telecast of this game is brought to you by Power and Water. Power and Water Corporation, supporting local football and saving water.
Many remote communities are running low on water. Water is precious in our community. Hey, what are you doing?
Just filled up the dog bowl. What are you doing?
I'm going shopping.
Oh, cool. I'll come with you.
Hey, you left the water running. The water's going everywhere, doing nothing. That's a waste. It's all drying up. You need to remember to turn off the outside taps. What can I do to help protect the water? Yep, never walk away from a flowing tap. Always turn it off.
What a mark. Thanks, Maisie. Milford knows it's important to have strong eyes to see the ball.
How do you keep your eyes so strong?
You get strong, healthy eyes by blowing your nose and washing your face whenever it's dirty.
True.
Yeah, it makes you look really sharp and it stops trachoma.
Wait, what's trachoma?
Trachoma makes your eyes sick. It's caused by germs and the muck in your eyes and snot in your nose.
So it's easy to stop trachoma. I just have to keep my face clean.
That's right. So remember, clean faces, strong eyes.
Bachelor Institute offers training and education in community or on campus in Alice Springs and Bachelor. Courses include media, construction, health and many others. To find out more about what we can offer you, free call 1800 677 095.
Many remote communities are running low on water.
Water is precious in our community. What can I do to protect the water? Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm hunting
What for?
for big orally. It's just like hunting for a bush tucker. Saving this water, it's more precious than bush tucker. See the track and listen, you can hear the sound. go and run for league and save the precious water in your community. We finally get to do the league. Either we can turn it off or go and find the right person if it's bad.
Alap kalian tim pupush taka. May bakanan pulings too.
And you can do it too and save the precious water for your community.
On territory roads, anything can happen. So you need to drive to the conditions. Speeding can get you into all sorts of trouble. Dirt roads aren't just dusty. When it's hard to see, they're dangerous. At water crossings, remember, you're driving a motor car, not a boat. High water can be deep trouble. All sorts of animals can be on the road, so watch out. And if the weather is bad, slow down, you mob. Drive to the conditions and arrive in good condition.
Batchelor Institute offers training and education in community or on campus in Alice Springs and Batchelor. Courses include media, construction, health and many others. To find out more about what we can offer you, free call 1800 677 095.
The telecast of this game is brought to you by Power and Water. Power and Water Corporation, supporting local football and saving water.
And welcome back to Central Australian footy action on ICTV. Almost ready for a start to the third term of the knockout semi-final in the Country League. Ltyentye Apurte 7-3-45 lead Yuendumu 2-8-20 at half-time. My name's Stan Coombe. Joining me in commentary, Sean Cusack. Looking forward to this second half. Gingy's pretty handy lead, but Yuendumu showed some signs that they were coming, getting themselves into the game.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's just, it's equal amount of scoring shots. One side's been fantastic and just kicking their goals and being on target as to Gingy's, and the Magpies have been offline on quite a few opportunities in that second quarter. So if they kick straight, this could be a really close finish. Because in general play, they're pretty even.
So almost ready for a start to the third term, and another little change in the ruck department here. Simon Fisher Jr.'s going in for the Magpies.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think with the Magpies, it's just actually getting Charles to direct the ball to his midfielders, and his midfielders to be in those spots where he's going to tap it. So this would be interesting. Simon Fisher Jr., who we know is a fantastic footballer, has gone into the ruck against Donovan Mulladad. So this would be an interesting tussle.
Mulladad still looks like he's going to employ that tactic of coming in from the side, and Fisher looks like he's going to match that.
That's just smart. You have to, adjust and change to who you're rucking against.
A lot of discussion seems to go on these days before we get the actual ball under the middle.
There's a bit going on.
I know occasionally you have to wait for the 666, but I think that's been right.
Yeah.
Sirens actually sounded.
Players have been out
a
there
couple of times
for a couple of minutes in their positions.
That's what we've been waiting for. The umpire to hold the red pill aloft.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, he tosses it up. Even contest between these two fine ruckmen. And the umpire's called a free kick holding the ball against Donovan Mulladad. Jerome Dixon to take the free kick for the Magpies. A little kick over the top, marked by Aaron Sharp, who continues to run towards goal. The palm off. Now 45 out from goal. He goes with the trusty left boot towards the big sticks. It doesn't make it. Marked on the last line of defence for Gingy's by Jackson Kopp, who plays on. There's a bounce and kicks it well outside the defensive 50. Jamal Lynch out there. Sharp applies the tackle. Lynch has the handball away under pressure. Kane Lynch comes in now. Handball back to Jamal Lynch. Well tackled from behind. Holding the ball to decision. And I think that's Selwyn Anderson who's got the number 8 on that's played the tackle.
And that's what they need to do. That pressure needs to be relentless in this third quarter.
Jerome Dixon with his second possession of the term. Kicks towards half forward. Good footy. Scott Young out of defence again. He's done that a couple of times today. Kicks to the wing looking for Simon Bloomfield. He made a good contest. Got the footy down to Jamal Lynch. Lynch with the left boot. Didn't connect with that. Jerome Dixon marks.
Bit of a tired kick there.
Sorry, Hamish Dixon it was at mark. Kicks towards the middle. Simon Fisher Jr. using experience to get in the right position to take the overhead mark. Now he kicks inside 50. That was a lovely pass. And Fabian Dixon with the mark. He can shoot for goal.
And that's where they need to get around him and say, relax, go through your normal kicking routine. You're within range, kick the goal.
Only a youngster, Fabian Dixon. In his later teenage years. Great talent. Kick on its way, is going very close. He had to give it everything, but he's got it over the line. Yuendumu get the first goal of the second half.
Yeah, fantastic effort. Look, really good shot on goal. And they seem more relaxed now. They seem like they've got their head in the game and they're hitting targets. But the forward pressure, who you mentioned earlier on in number 8.
Selwyn Anderson.
Yes, fantastic. That came because of his tackle up on that wing area. Really good effort there.
Actually wonder if that's a Selwyn Anderson that used to play for Ginger Porter.
Could be.
It was.
Could be.
Would have enjoyed setting that one up against his old team if that is so. 7-3-45 now Ginger Porter. Yuendumu closed the gap 3-8-26. The margin back to 19 points on the Power and Water scoreboard. It's what the game needed. Donovan Mullendad. Great tap to Simon Bloomfield. What a first half he had. Kicks inside 50, looking for Darren Young. Good positioning. The ball with the back to Quinton Ross. He'll go the soccer off the ground and a quick reply for Ginger Porter.
Unbelievable. Great effort there. Mullethead in the middle. Great effort. Bloomfield, the danger man. And then gets it down to his forwards. Kick straight to Young, but it was the small guys that cleaned it up. So good play there by the Gingies.
8-3-51, 3-8-26.
If you watch Mullethead, he cuts into the Yuendumu's ruckman space in that circle. Smart rucking, it's just really smart ruck work. And he's won probably two of the last ruck contests.
And the bloke he's up against, no slouch.
No.
Great footballer in Central Australia for over a decade.
So he cuts under their side.
That one probably went in Yuendumu's direction. Jamal Lynch gets a little kick forward towards half forward. Now I believe that might be Leslie Pearce with 24 at half back there for Yuendumu. Oh, they stream forward. Is that Scott Young again delivering the ball beautifully to David Wongway. Wongway kicks inside 50 to Dylan Ellis.
It was
he
like
shouldn't have any problem with the distance.
It was like the Yuendumu half forwards just stopped.
Oh, another pass here.
Yeah.
Little one over the top.
It's just like the Magpies half forward stopped and then the Gingies players just took it away from him.
A bit of a...
Scott Young.
Number 12, he's been great. Now, there might be a bit of confusion with numbers here with number 8 and 18. Jake Smith is 8, but I reckon he's 18.
Okay.
So that means I probably don't know who 8 is, and he hasn't got the goal on the board anyway, so we're not going to have to read it out yet in the goal kickers. A miss by Ginger Porter. They're 8-4-52. Yuendumu 3-8-26, 26-point lead. From the kick in the mark taken by Fabian Dixon. He's covering some territory, this young fella.
Yeah, they've moved him up a bit.
Last possession down in the forward line, a shot at goal, gets around the man on the mark, showing us some tricks, kicks towards the wing, nice pass to Aaron Sharp, spots a player loose in the middle of the ground, the foot pass is good, Simon Fisher Jr. streaming in towards goal, went for the pass, didn't quite get to his teammate on the full, Ezekiel Paulson it is, dishes out the handball, attempted shot at goal, they've lost the footy, and Kane Lynch will come away with it. For Ginger Porter, it looked like a certain goal for Yuendumu. And now Ginger Porter getting it up the other end of the ground. Quinton Ross from the wing to Dylan Ellis on the half-forward flank. Ellis about 70 out from goal. Goes the pass. He was looking for Young. He didn't have enough on it.
Yeah, they're under it now, the Yuendumu defence. 3 players on Young then.
Cut off by Oscar White. Deliver into the middle to Riley White Jr. And the handball over to Fabian Dixon, starting to have some influence on this game. He kicks inside 51 versus 3. Yuendumu in the deficit there. Quick kick out of defence by Ginger Porter will get it out to the half-back flank. Jamal Lynch just inside the boundary line. Probably not a bad fumble, that one. Ball over the line for a boundary throw in. He had 2 Magpies to try and beat if it stayed in.
Yeah, this is...
Oh, they've given it to him.
Yeah, they've got the free kick.
So Dixon took it, passed over the top. Jamie Nelson now with the footy from the Magpies.
Dixon's had about three possessions in a minute.
Jamie Nelson long, getting it inside 50. They're looking for the marking target. Sebastian Watson in front. Good purchase on it, couldn't take it. Kick out of defence is good for Ginger Porter. Straight onto the chest of Donovan Mulligan, and again it was Scott Young.
Scott Young and Bloomfield.
There he is with the footy on the half-back flank. He's had a great game. He's looking for McMillan. Ball off hands, comes back to McMillan. Nice handball to Dylan Ellis. 45 out from goal. Over the top, Darren Young can't get a hand on it. It's through from behind.
Really good play there by the Gingers. Good passing, good build-up. Just unlucky to get a point there.
A couple of those young blokes are shining lights for them.
Oh, absolutely.
So the Magpies bring it back into play. Grandstand side. Jamal Lynch coming in from behind, but Fabian Dixon.
He has been in awesome. He's in a purple patch at the moment.
Good hands, and he got it to his teammate on the half-back flank. Leslie Pearce it was. Might be the former McDonald Districts champ. He's kicked to Hamish Dixon, who wants to give it back to Pearce. Pearce marks now about 80 metres out from goal. Lead offered by Jarrah. The kick goes in that direction. Jarrah one bite of the cherry. Couldn't get the second grab on it. Attempt to soccer out of off the ground there by the Gingy defence. Unsuccessful. Free kick. Player taken high. Aaron Sharp. He's going to play on with the advantage. He didn't give himself much advantage. Then the kick went off the side of the boot. It's gone as high as it's gone long, and the mark's been paid. Jarrah's taken it. 45 metres out from goal. We
just
thought about
got to go back. He's just got to go back.
We know he can do it.
Yeah. They've just got to relax when they get the opportunities. Have a go.
He's kicked 2 already. 1 in each of the first 2 terms. 45 metres out. On its way, goal umpire making a little bit of ground to his left, but not enough to indicate it's anything but another goal to Liam Jarrah. And the Magpies making a little bit of a surge.
Yeah, look, Dixon, for me in the last 2 or 3 minutes has Fabian Dixon's been fantastic. They moved, he kicked the goal for the Magpies, and now he's up in the midfield. Then he was helping down back, and look, he's having a really good third quarter. Now they've got him in the midfield.
So a couple of the youngsters starting to shine. We've got Dixon for Yuendumu and Bloomfield having a blinder for Ginger Porter.
And it's just because he wants to run. Now they're rucking him. they're
I
rucking.
can't believe this. Donovan Mulligan up against Fabian Dixon. I suppose he's beaten all other comers, hasn't he? It's a pretty even contest. The ball spills down to Kyle Ryder, who slams it on the boot. Centre clearance, nice mark, Quinton Ross. Came floating across the back of the pack.
How good was the mark?
Can get up and take a bit of a scrim. Kyle Ryder in a little bit of space there, but Ross is going to go for goal, 49 metres out.
He's giving it.
It's going to lob right on the goal line. Oh, he's hit the post.
Really good mark. Nice kick too, just a bit offline.
Even though Yuendumu are coming, Ginger Porter still getting it up there into the ground pretty regularly. 8.654, Yuendumu 8.32.
Yep. They just haven't been able to kick the goals, and
Tyrant Spencer been great at fullback with the kick-in duties. Gets it out the defensive 50. Oh, the Ginger Porter handball missed the target. Footy picked up by Hamish Dixon. Got the little handball off to his teammate there, who was Nathaniel Sims, kicking in the middle. Donovan Mulligan comes up with the footy, slams it back towards the top of the goal square. Back there again, Tyrone Spencer takes the mark and clears.
Like a freight train there, Stan. Donovan Mulligan.
Cy Fisher got it to the half-forward flank to Oscar White. Oscar White was under a fair bit of pressure, but he got it to Nathaniel Sims. Nathaniel Sims couldn't find a teammate. Sebastian Watson gives it back to Sims, and now Sims slams it onto the boot. Up to the half-forward flank for the Magpies. Almost a spectacular one-hander by Jamie Nelson. Still in over the top of it now, Josiah Walker. Comes out of the pack, the handball for Oscar White. White kicks out wide. Here's Fabian Dixon again.
Who do you go to? Dixon.
Well, this time his kick's been partly smothered. Still gets it inside the attacking 50. The handball for Gingies comes out to Bradley Smith. Smith onto the left boot, kicks towards the wing. His teammate slipped over at the critical moment. And coming in is Oscar White to take the mark for the Magpies. Sends them forward again and finds Aaron Sharp, who marks 51 metres out. He's allowed to play on. He's within range. It goes off the side of the boot into the pocket. Here comes Jarrah. The Magpies are marking a shot at goal coming up.
It. The big man's got to stand up. This will be it's number 4 if he gets this one.
Yep.
Oscar
White,
Spencer, really good. Just holding the Gingy's attack out.
Liam Jarrah from only 25 metres out puts it through for another one. He's kicked 4, and the Magpies edge a little bit closer. We've got a game on our hands now in the knockout semi-final. They're 5-8-32. Just wait for the Traeger Park scoreboard to come up. And Ginger Porter 8-6-54. So 5-8-38, 8-6-54, 16 points the difference.
I'll tell you who else is starting to come into play. It's Thomas Collins. Collins has been moved into the midfield. He's had a bit to do with just applying some tackles and applying some pressure to the Gingy players. So they've got Ltyentye back in the ruck now against Mullader. Mulladad's been fantastic in the ruck.
Fabian Dixon out onto the wing, and when the centre circle's like that, Sean, it's almost like you've got 5 midfielders full ball up.
Yeah, you can include the 2 on the wing, yeah, for sure.
So Ltyentye versus Mullader. Umpire Phil Nipris. About game 1,554, just about. Footy slapped out towards that gap roadside wing. It's the Magpies who go forward. Kick will go inside 50, socket out of the air there by Jackson Kopp. That relieves the pressure for Ginger Porter. He tried to chase it up again. His teammate went down on hands and knees in front of him. Now the footy picked up by Bradley Smith. Gives away a lot of ground to get the footy back to Scott Young. Oh, nice little step from Young. And now he'll casually kick to the half-back flank and find Simon Bloomfield. Been terrific. Lovely searching kick too. Found Gordon Mullendad, who marked just forward to centre wing on the gap road side. Now they break for him on the lead. They all headed out to the gap road side. He was a little bit hesitant. Now the kick back into the corridor, running down into a tackle. Oh, the ball. Not sure about the prior opportunity as Kyle Ryder kicks inside 50. All trying to get up now. The ball spills out in the Magpies' favour. They're pressure under enormous defence. Fabian Dixon, nice little step. Handball didn't quite hit the target. He's looking for Travis Collins in over the top. The umpire spotted a free kick, and it's going to go Ginger Porter's way. Dylan Ellis.
How good a play was that? We've almost seen 2 screamers in like 10 seconds of footy stare.
Action heating up here at Traeger Park. It's the centre of Australian football today. The Bushies come to town.
Probably their most damaging kick, and Dylan Ellis has got the footy.
He's a beautiful kicker of the football. If he hits it right distance, won't be a worry. From 50 metres out, right on the line. It's going right to the goal line, and he's put it through. Important one for Gingies, because the Magpies are asking them questions.
Absolutely, and that's they had a couple of opportunities before that, and they sort of sprayed it and kicked points. But when you get the ball into Dylan Ellis's hands, you normally get clean possession, and that's what he did. He went backed himself in from 50 metres out, and slots it through quite comfortably.
Power and Water scoreboard. Ginger Porter at 9.660. Yuendumu 5.838. The Magpies are issuing the challenge. Ginger Porter keep coming up with the answers at the moment.
Just so they can get the ball going.
So Donovan Mullendad versus Dion Ltyentye in the ruck contest. Donovan Mullendad didn't go, and Ltyentye slaps the footy towards centre half. And now kicks into the middle. Plenty of Magpies there though. They'll have the first 3 players to get towards the footy and make playing. But
dangerous signs there. Yuendumu had the footy. Bad bounce.
He kicked their last goal. That margin now back out to 23 points. Couldn't mark his recovery. Was good. The whistle's gone.
Mitch Dixon out there. Yeah. Good. He's been good, solid.
Forward flank. Oh, well done to get quality for him today.
There.
Yeah, terrific. Through his head. A stretch and mark. Simon Bloomfield. He'll be pushing towards 25 possessions.
Here he goes again.
Good ones too. Looking for Mullendad. Sims came in late, affected the spoil. Picks it up just inside the boundary. Kicks it forward, but straight back to Gordon Mullendad, who's taken the mark for Gingies. The little general manager goes long. He's looking for Quinton Ross. Up against him, Isaiah Fisher. The ball spills down to the advantage of Jerome Dixon. Puts on the afterburners. One bounce, just gets away. Left boot is a beauty and a player in acres of space out there. It's Wayne at centre half forward now for the Magpies. 2 bounces. The kick looking for Jarrah, bounces just in front of him. Good tackle applied. What's the umpire going to call here? Holding the ball.
Yeah, good defensive work there. Really good play by
Timmy Pepperell.
Yeah, Pepperell. Great effort there.
Out to Jake Smith. Smith goes to Dylan Ellis, who's marked on the wing. This is something Gingies have done before, sweeping it from one end of the ground to the other, and this bloke's been involved most times, Simon Bloomfield, with a mark at half forward. This time the kick is high inside 50. He's looking for Darren Young. Up high, couldn't get hands on it. The crumbs spill to the advantage of the Magpies, and they'll clear towards half back. Here comes Mullendad. Donovan Variety on the charge. One way, no, it's Jamal Lynch who collects the footy on the 50 for Ginger Porter. He kicks it deep into the forward pocket. But the mark's been taken by Isaiah Fisher, diving low to the ground.
Oh, is it Fisher? Yep.
We'll go for the switch of play. Oscar White now marks. No, he spilt the mark just inside the defensive 50. Time to recover. It's kicked to Selwyn Anderson. Anderson on the half-back flank for the Magpies. Kicks high towards the wing. Good contest there. Well done by Jamie Nelson, but it's been taken away from him by Gordon Mullendad. One bounce. Nice little shepherd by Jake Smith. As Mullendad kicks inside 50, looking for McMillan. And the Magpies have claimed the mark. I reckon they might have convinced the umpire. And that will ease a little bit of pressure on their defence.
McCormack, eh?
Richard McCormack. Kick out to Hamish Dixon. Jerome Dixon it is. It's centre half back. Then we'll go back to McCormack. He marks on the back flank, and they're just trying to take a little bit of sting out of it at the moment.
Yeah, that's it. It's been a pretty fast-paced game.
Leslie Pearce couldn't quite hold on to the mark, just forward of the wing. Good enough to recover. The kick towards half forward, intercepted though by Kane Lynch. Jamal Lynch screaming for it this side of the ground. Might get out there yet. The first kick is short to Maxwell Maneri.
Battle of the half-backs, Stan.
He directs a little bit of traffic, does Maneri. Kick into the middle. Justin Hayes got space. Turns around, plays on, one bounce. Kicks, looking for Jason McMillan, couldn't find him. Cut off by Jerome Dixon. He'll pump along with the whistles gone in the meantime.
What's happened
Maybe
there?
some blocking.
I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe blocking. Maybe.
There was a couple of defenders around McMillan.
Yep.
Not Jerome Dixon. He took the mark well out in front of of what was going on there.
Yeah.
So maybe the umpire thinks that one of those players blocked. Oh, gives us a breather, and it's right on the three-quarter time siren. He's going to have to kick this from 55 out. I tell you what, the Mack truck, go back a few years, I would have backed him. I've seen him hit some big torpedoes. This will take his best.
Let's see how he goes.
If he can kick this, what a team lifter for Gingies.
Yeah.
Jason McMillan, 55 out. He's gone the drop
given it a
card.
ride.
Plenty of distance. Oh, he's kicked it from 55 metres out. Ginger Porter get an important goal on the three-quarter time siren. And they lead 10-7-67. Yuendumu 5-8-38. Right on the bell. Gee whiz, that could be crucial.
You know, 50 metres is a fair way out. Today we've seen about 3 or 4 players kick from 50 out and kick straight through the middle. How good's that? Community football at its best right here. Great kick there by McMillan. But the build-up, fantastic. Yuendumu are so close, and then the Gingies kick away. They're going to have to really dig deep in this last quarter, Stan.
And it's getting to the point now where they can't afford to make mistakes.
No.
That's one thing that has hurt them today. Every time they made a mistake, Ginger Porter up the other end of the ground. So three-quarter time, it's Gingies 10-7-67, Yuendumu 5-8-38. You're watching some great footy action from Traeger Park on ICTV. We can't wait for the last quarter. Join us.
Many remote communities are running low on water.
Water is precious in our community. What can I do to protect the water? Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm hunting.
What for?
For big orally. It's just like hunting for a bush tucker. Saving this water is more precious than bush tucker. See the track and listen, you can hear the sound. Go and hunt for leak and save the precious water in your community. We finally get you to the leak. Either we can turn it off or go and find the right person if it's bad.
Alap kayanting pupush-taka. May bakanan pulings too.
And you can do it too and save the precious water for your community.
Kids need help to stop trachoma. The eye disease can cause pain, sickness and even blindness. It's spread by mucky eyes and snot on the face. Luckily, it's easy to stop. By helping kids to blow their nose, wash their hands and clean their face, you'll be helping to stop eye disease spreading and keep their eyes healthy and strong. And by teaching kids to get rid of mucky eyes and snotty noses, you'll be playing your part to stop trachoma. Remember,
Trachoma is everybody's business.
clean faces, strong eyes.
Bachelor Institute offers training and education in community or on campus in Alice Springs and Bachelor. Courses include media, construction, health and many others. To find out more about what we can offer you, free call 1800 677 095.
Many remote communities are running low on water. Water is precious in our community. Hey, what are you doing?
Just filled up the dog bowl. What are you doing?
I'm going shopping.
Oh, cool. I'll come with you.
Hey, you left the water running. The water's going everywhere, doing nothing. That's a waste. It's all drying up. You need to remember to turn off the outside taps. What can I do to help protect the water? Yep, never walk away from a flowing tap. Always turn it off.
On territory roads, anything can happen, so you need to drive real careful. Water crossings can be tricky. Remember, you mob, you're driving a motor car, not a boat. If the water's too high, you can get into deep trouble. So chill out and wait till the water level drops. Drive to the conditions and arrive in good condition.
Bachelor Institute offers training and education in community or on campus in Alice Springs and Bachelor. Courses include media, construction, health and many others. To find out more about what we can offer you, free call 1800 677 095.
ICTV, showing our way.
The telecast of this game is brought to you by Power and Water. Power and Water Corporation, supporting local football and saving water.
And welcome back to ICTV's coverage of the 2019 AFL Central Australia season, brought to you by Power and Water. It's three-quarter time in the Country League knockout semi-final. In Ginger Porter, 10-7-67 leading Yuendumu 5-8-38. My name's Stan Coombe, joining me in commentary, Sean Cusack. Sean, Yuendumu got a bit of work to do now.
Yeah, that's it. Look, it's still a game pretty much in the balance, but you know, the Gingers just keep coming up with the answers. They'll get a good run of play. They'll use their skills, and then they'll get it down to their forwards, and then they'll capitalise on it. Yuendumu have been really good in general play. At the moment, there's just the one forward standing up for Yuendumu, and that's Liam Jarrah. They also had Fabian Dixon up there too, but Fabian Dixon's had to come into the midfield, and he's been very impressive in there and working really hard. Look, this looks a bit of an interesting setup. Looks like Sharp's going up forward now with Jarrah. Also, Dixon's going up there as well. So this could be, you know, two or three quick goals, and they're back into the game. But they've got to kick their goals. They've got to make, they're going to make their opportunities count.
Some great scenes on our screen there too. All players from both sides all out there shaking hands prior to the start of this final term.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going hard, and they're putting their bodies on the line for their communities. But it's good to see that friendship, and it is just a footy game.
Give you the goal kickers up until three-quarter time for Ginger Porter. David Wongway has 3, 2 each to Quinton Ross and Darren Young. 1 each for Dylan Ellis, Kyle Ryder and Jason McMillan. Right on the three-quarter time siren. That might prove to be vital, that one. For Yuendumu, they've kicked 5. Liam Jarrah has kicked 4 of them. And Fabian Dixon, the young fella Sean just mentioned, has kicked their other goal.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Yuendumu react to with being a goal kicked on the siren, from that previous quarter. It can really have a detriment on teams, coming in and feeling a bit down because they've just got a goal, a beautiful goal, 50 metres out. So be interesting to test the character for the Yuendumu Magpies.
And the difference between 4 and 5 goals might not seem much, but can be immense. No one a clear winner at the ball up in the middle. The ruckman for Gingy's, Donovan Mullendad in on hands and knees trying to get the ball out. Eventually Dixon gets it out to the wing. That's Jerome Dixon. He's tackled, holding the ball. Prior opportunity was something he didn't have a lot of.
Yeah, he's been solid today, Jerome. He's just got to keep going.
Probably best man on the ground with the free kick, Simon Bloomfield. Nice kick to the attacking 50. The mark's being claimed by David Wongway. He can shoot for goal from 55 out.
Well, he's going to have a crack at this.
Hits his best one, he's in. Jake Smith sneaking down into the forward pocket. This would be just the start that Ginger Porter would make things very, very difficult for you and to me.
He's going to have a crack at this.
Stretch the margin out towards 6 goal, right to the goal line. This is bending back to the, punched away through for one behind. Only a few centimetres in that one. Ginger Porter's first score of the final term is a minor one.
Isn't that such a great thing to have within your team, blokes that can kick from outside 50?
Certainly is.
Advantage, isn't it?
Finding someone inside 50 can be so difficult when you get into them right on the 50 and they can still nail it for you. So free kick from the kick-in goes to Dion Licklightner for you and to me. A lovely looking left-footed kicking action, this man. Spears that one up towards the wing, nicely judged by Mullendad, but backing back Ezekiel Paulson got a little hand on that. I think he's done the hamstring. Sharp through traffic, the handball to Selwyn Anderson, dumped to the ground after he let go of the footy, so holding the man the decision. Anderson takes a free kick, put it over the head of Riley White Jr. Got some work to do around centre half forward. Jackson Kopp puts pressure on. White still over the footy. Little kick forward, might just get to a teammate inside the attacking 50. It didn't get there on the full for Travis Collins. Eventually tracks down the bouncing ball. The handball back to Anderson, who slips over. In comes Bloomfield, couldn't take the footy with him. Jamie Nelson picks up now for the Magpies. He's kicked, brilliantly smothered by Bloomfield. Got a hand on it while he was lying on the ground. It comes out to Gordon Mullendad, who finds Jamal Lynch, who's marked on the half-back flank.
Yeah, a bit of an opportunity missed there for the Magpies. And now the Gingies have taken it from one end to the other. It's just gone out of bounds.
Down the umpire right on the spot. That's the sort of scenario where Gingies have made them pay before.
That's right, yeah. You know, and the Magpies have just had to work through and deliver the footy properly and work it, kick it to each other, and they were away, but Gingies, great pressure.
Desperate stuff, Simon Bloomfield, to get that smother. We've seen his attacking skills all day, but he's doing it all, the young man. Lester Mullendad tapping the ball forward for Gingies just outside 50. Spun out of the tackle, got a little kick that dribbled inside the attacking 50. Oscar White now paddles it to his own advantage for the Magpies. Under a fair bit of pressure. Jake Smith there now for Ginger Porter. He can't take the footy with him. The Magpies able to just paddle it out towards centre half back. Bit of jumper holding there. The Magpies end up with the free kick aside Fisher to take it.
Fisher's fantastic. Just kept front spot, you know, and the Gingies player grabbed him. They're away here.
Riley White Jr., plenty of space to work in on the Gap Road side. Just strolls to the half forward flank, kicks it low, and again a bounce just in front of Liam Jarrah on the lead out from full forward. Oh, brilliant ball control to tap it to his own advantage. Now the handball away, it fell just short of the intended target there, Dion Wayne. Wayne trying to burst through some traffic inside the 50. Plenty of Ginger Porter defenders around this, and eventually they'll sweep on it. I reckon it's Scott Young again. Out to Gordon Mullendad, and he'll come wider still to Dylan Ellis, who'll mark on the wing, and now they've got lots of space.
Look at the space.
This is the rebound footy they've played so well all day today. Ellis, a couple of bounces, looking for Darren Young on the lead out from full forward. Doesn't get to Young. McMillan cuts across in front and takes the mark.
Yeah, when they get away, they're just so dangerous. Those fleet-footed guys that just run and carry the footy, and got it out to the wing. Dylan Ellis, beautiful kick into the forward line.
Jason McMillan got a goal after the three-quarter time siren, and now a chance to kick the first in the final quarter. Nearly put the game beyond down. 2-on-1 in favour of Ginger Porter right down there on the goal line. The Magpies needed some more help back there. Eventually the cavalry does arrive and they're able to clear out of defence. And Luxa Fortune with that kick too, straight onto the chest of a teammate at centre half back.
Now, if the Magpies do get it up in the forward line, you've got to have more small blokes around Jarrah's feet.
Travis Collins has gone for the torpedo. Ball spills to the back of the marking contest. Kane Lynch taps it to his own advantage out wide and then eventually gathers on that Gap Road side wing. puts his kick out in front of Justin Hayes. Hayes picks up just inside the boundary line. Kick back in board out in front of Jason McMillan again.
He's presented well, McMillan, when he came on the ground. Look at the kick.
Oh, straight to Dylan Ellis, who marks and plays on with the outside of the right boot. Ellis puts it through for a goal to Ginger Porter.
Just that quality ball use is just so valuable at this level of footy. And beautiful work. Came from the wing side to the middle of the ground to the other side of the ground, but it was controlled. They used the footy so well.
Second goal to Dylan Ellis. Had a lot of influence on the game.
Yeah, and he hasn't done a whole lot, but when he does get the footy, it's just quality.
It's either a goal or Darren Young or David Wongway are lining up for a shot at goal.
Yeah, absolutely. He just delivers the ball so good.
Magpies have made a change, getting Sebastian Watson into the centre square.
Yeah, Gingers need to get one more player into the middle of the ground there.
This is do or die now for Yuendumu. That margin out to 36 points on the Power and Water scoreboard, 11-8-74 to 5-8-38. They have to kick the next, and they have to start kicking them quick too.
Yeah, the fleet-footed players just been so good. Gordon Maladad, Dylan Ellis,
Bloomfield, Scott Young out of defence.
Young, everybody stops and Young just keeps running and running and running.
Not much of him. Ball up back in the middle. And a change in the ruck there for Ginger Porter. Carl Ronson going in. Ball heads in the Magpies' direction. Aaron Sharp breaks through the tackle. Goes long to the goal square. It's cleared everyone. Gone through for a behind.
Yeah, just a bit offline. He done really well there, Sharp, to get it from the midfield and run it through to the half forward. Just offline though.
Short kick in for Ginger Porter, marked by Maxwell Maneri in the back pocket. Scott Young wants it short as well, a little bit wider. That's where Maneri's kick goes, and now Young up to the half-back flank. They've worked it out nicely. Jamal Lynch with the footy. Looking for Alice. Oh, spectacular jump over the top of his opponent, Leslie Pearce. The ball offhand over the boundary line.
Big, strong lad, Leslie Pearce.
Yeah, I dare say a couple of premierships for McDonald Districts in his time.
Yep.
Magpies away from the boundary, throw in. Jerome Dixon onto the left boot, bit of a floater. Oh, it's hit his teammate on the chest. Fabian Dixon couldn't quite hold on to it. Battle between him and Young. What a contest between two good youngsters there. Young's going to get the free kick. Oh, not happy with that, Dixon.
Got to be careful.
Gee, I would have thought that may have been 50.
Be careful,
maybe umpire deeming it catchable. Certainly throwing hard. Bradley Smith with the footy on the defensive 50 for Ginger. They keep finding the gaps. Lester Mullendad, the player that receives this one. Oh, I thought that could have been a man over the mark and 50 there.
Yeah.
Kick into the middle for Justin Hayes. Oh, the Yuendumu player slipped at the crucial moment. Hayes streams forward, looking for Darren Young on the lead. And he might be finishing the game the same way he started it.
The old fella. Still got his spring in his step. We know he's got the kicking power. He's kicked some nice ones today.
2 to his name, both in the first term. Handed out 1 or 2. 45 metres out. Tight angle snake pickpocket. Normally pretty hard from there. Gee, the kick went close. Oh, there's a mark. He's there for the Gingies. Only a couple of metres out. Is it Wongway or Ross? Wongway.
Wongway, yeah.
Well, that's probably the difference. One marking target, goal kicker for Yuendumu, and 2 at least for Ginger Porter. 3 if you had Quinton Ross. David Wongway goes towards goal. He has now kicked his 4th, and I reckon Ginger Porter might just about be home.
Yeah, well, that's right, Stan. You got Wongway, you got Ross, McMillan came on, in that second quarter, and Young. So those 4 players, particularly Young and Wongway, they're really big, tall lads, but look, all 4 of those blokes can take a strong mark, and they present really well. Even in that third quarter, they were able to rest Young. So he came. He's a bit of an older statesman of of community footy, but they were able to rest him, and he came out. Now he's playing up at full forward. What a combination,
At the start of the game too, I pointed out that the Yuendumu probably had a height advantage across the ground. It's where the tools have had their influence. It's mattered for Ginger Porter.
Absolutely.
Here's the biggest of them all, Zibby and Charles doing the ruck work in the middle. Gordon Mullendad picks it up, holding the ball. The decision there is he probably thought he got a handball away. The free kick will be taken by Joseph Ross for the Magpies. Kicked out to the half-forward flank. Jamie Nelson up in the contest. Justin Hayes gets to the footy first for Ginger Porter. Tapped it to his own advantage and then got through a gap that wasn't there. Between two
really
players. Had a bounce kick to the wing looking for Quinton Ross. Isaiah Fisher wearing him like a glove. Well played by Fisher off half-back. The Magpies won't go down wondering. They'll keep coming. Chance to give over to Charles. That's been ignored. Kick will go inside 50. Dion Lichtleitner up in front. Great recovery after the marking contest. Left-footed snapper's a beauty. Magical goal, Dion Lichtleitner.
What an effort. All started by Fisher, half-back. Came out, beat his defender, got it down to the half-forward line, and I think the great thing about that goal, though, by Lichtleitner, he had to crumb his own ball. You know, he went up for it, he flew, and then he had to he didn't take the mark, but the ball hit the ground. He got back onto it, and then he kicked a goal. And I think that's something that Yuendumu will really have to look at in their next game, is getting more little guys around their bigger forwards, because they just haven't had those small blokes around them.
Jurra in the ruck now for the Magpies. They're throwing everything at this one. Still got a long, long way back to come from here. They're still 6 goals behind. 9 minutes left. It'd take an amazing finish.
Yeah, a really big effort.
Yeah, they're a bit unsure about the 6-6-6 at the moment. They've got 2 players out on the far side wing, so everything stops. The clock ticks down a little bit further.
Yeah, they've gone with Dixon and Jurra, Sharp. And I think that's Pearce, isn't it? Pearce on the other side.
Yeah. Jurra tries to tap it to himself. Jerome Dixon bursting out. Oh, he couldn't get boot a ball. He was tackled from behind. It's Simon Bloomfield again.
Yeah, and look at the kick.
Superb.
Just absolutely brilliant.
A little bit of bruising there for Lester Mullendad's nipples. He kicks to the half-forward flank. Good defensive effort by the Magpies. Oh, get the ball out towards Nathaniel Sims. Big hip and shoulder. And the umpires paid a free kick against him for that. I didn't think he got the player high or anything.
I think that was just 2 players going hard at each other there.
Bradley Smith got the free kick, kicked it out wide to Jamal Lynch, who spilt the easy mark. Time enough to recover. The handball over to Kyle Ryder. Ryder kicks into the forward pocket. And Quinton Ross this time the one to take the mark on the lead.
Yeah, that's it. Ross, Young, long way. Or McMillan. Ross has got a beautiful kick too. I think he's, if he kicks through it, I think he should get it.
He's kicked 2 so far, and you can see the signs there for Yuendumu. A couple of players limping towards the bench on the sidelines.
Cramp setting in.
Quinton Ross goes for goal. That's a nice looking kick from deep in the forward pocket. Another goal to Ginger Porter. They're heading towards the preliminary final.
Yeah, good effort. Good effort to move the ball down, get it to their forwards. There's one thing that they've done, and it's been, from my point of view, the big guys up forward have actually presented as well.
13-8-86 to Ginger Porter, Yuendumu 6-9-45 Parramatta scoreboard.
But that all started from Bloomfield. You know, he made a tackle on Dixon, that turned over the footy, and then they were away to turn it over and get it down to their forwards. It's just been their little guys. They've just harassed and chased and done those little things that you don't want to do as a footy player, but they've got their hands dirty today.
And he's done it all as a midfielder today, Bloomfield. He's done the offensive work, the defensive work. He gets the hard ball and he can run out into space as well. And now he chases out to the half-back flank and puts a bit of pressure on. That helps clear a path for Bradley Smith, who couldn't get through the traffic. Hamish Dixon picks it up. The kick off his right boot spirals inside 50. Maxwell Maneri back there. The old veteran gets the handball over to Kane Lynch. Lynch will go long to the back flank, but his kick is off the side of the boot, out of bounds on the full.
That was good pressure there. Lichtleitner and Dixon forced the error. That's what they need to do all day.
Jerome Dixon with the footy. Long left foot kick. Deep inside the attacking 50. Lichtleitner up in front. Couldn't take the mark. Tim Pepperell there to get the crumbs. A handball to Jackson Kopp. Dummied one. Now went the kick out towards the back flank area. Jamal Lynch comes in from behind. Disciplined thing to punch it over the boundary line.
Well, I think they've paid a free kick instead.
By Phil Nipris. Free kick's going to go to Jerome Dixon again. Short pass to the attacking 50. Kick's good. Mark's been taken. Josiah Walker.
No movement, not much movement up there.
Not much standing on the mark there. Too late. Him a crib a few metres, and that's all he needed to put it through for a goal.
What a kick.
Josiah Walker gets his first. But a consolation goal for the Magpies because Ltyentye Apurte have got this game.
That was a funny type of kick. It just looked like it wasn't going to go through, and then it just picked up a little bit of wind, and away it went.
And always when there's a bit of breeze here at Traeger Park, from that Todd River side, across to the grandstand side.
Yeah.
It's certainly been a long way. Josiah Walker's got his name on the score sheet. Yuendumu 79-51, 35 points behind Ltyentye Apurte 13-8-86, 4.5 minutes to go.
Yeah. I mean, they need to, for their own confidence and for their own self-belief, they need to kick a couple here, Yuendumu, just to keep that confidence up and their team up and about for next week.
A lot of pride in the black and white jumper. Liam Jarrah in the ruck, and he slaps that one towards half forward, taken by Jamie Nelson. Nelson through traffic. Oh, he's kicked. Well, smothered by accident, I think, by Bloomfield this time. Gordon Mullen had long handball forward to Kyle Ryder. Slung to the ground after he got rid of it. Free kick upfield. They should pay advantage here. Ryder's got it over to Jamal Lynch on the wing. They're away. I think the umpires have let it go. Common sense probably prevailed then. Ball inside the attacking 50. Quinton Ross taps it forward, looking for Lester Mullendad. Isaiah Fisher got in the road, and now the Magpies out of defence. Jerome Dixon with a long kick towards the wing. Jackson Kopp waiting at the back takes the mark.
Yeah, a good play there by Dixon in the back line. Really good stuff. Fisher, those sort of guys, but it's going to come back in now.
Lester Mullendad over the footy. It's gone to ground. That might be holding the ball. It is. Magpies get a much needed free kick. Little one over the top to Aaron Sharp on centre wing. Oh, big shepherd off the footy there as Sharp kicks inside 50. The umpie's letting things go. The Magpies have got a mark. Josiah Walker just kicked a goal on the run from a similar spot.
Back.
Can he make it two in a couple of minutes? He can. Another great kick, Josiah Walker. 2 quick goals to the Magpies. Plenty of noise down there in the grandstand and on the coaching bench as well.
2 goals in practically a minute. Good stuff by the Magpies to give a little bit and to fight back. As we know, the Gingers have been the best side today. Their ball skills have been fantastic, and just their effort to stick to a game plan that's obviously worked. But just giving the Magpies a bit of confidence here at the end to take in the next round of finals.
So Jarrah in the ruck. Certainly made a difference at the last centre bounce. Jimmy lose some time. We'll lose some time here with getting the 6-6-6 right.
Yeah,
Clock's
you
still
do.
ticking down, and almost only 2 minutes left now. Just glad it's not a close game.
Yep.
All up back in the middle could become a bit of a tactic. And that's nice ruck work by Carl Ronson. Gordon Mullendad doing the roving. Under a fair bit of pressure, went to ground, holding the ball to decision. Aaron Sharp with the free kick for the Magpies. Sharp goes towards the attacking 50. He was looking for Tyrone Spencer, who's got himself out of defence. Did a great job back there. Kane Lynch being pursued by Spencer. And eventually Spencer takes him to ground when he doesn't have the footy. And Kane Lynch will get a free kick at a 50-metre penalty. Done well for a young fellow who went off injured early on in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been really good. Like their half-back, playing on this half-back line with the Gingers, you just feel so confident. They just give each other the footy, they reward each other, they do the short little passes, they bring their teammates into the play, and then by the time you know it, they're in their forward line, you know?
They've just done it again, the little short pass to Kyle Ryder, who goes a bit longer with the next kick to the half-forward flank. Well read off hands by Bradley Smith. Tried to get the handball forward, fresh air shot, recovered it himself, runs to 50, chips a short one over the top into the pocket, and David Wongway takes the mark on the chest leading out from full forward.
Yeah, that's the style of play that they've been going to, and they're presenting. Wongway presented really well. He was a fair back off the play as well, but he knew if he got it at on that 50 line, Bradley Smith, and delivered it beautifully to Wongway.
So Wongway looking for his 5th goal. 1 in the first term, 2 in the second, and 1 already in this last quarter. Starts it out to the right and it stays out to the right through for 1 behind, makes the margin an even 5 goals, 13-9 to 8-9 on the Power and Water scoreboard.
Yeah, the Magpie players are coming off. There's a few there with cramp.
There goes the siren, and that score I just mentioned is the final score in the knockout semi-final. Ginger Porter 13-9, 87, defeating Yuendumu 8-9, 57. So 30 points the margin in the end. Gingies got on top of the first 4 goals. Sean, Yuendumu kept coming at them, but every time they did, Ginger Porter got the reply when they needed it.
Yeah, they got that buffer, you know, that 5-goal buffer, and just kept them out. And they were just really, they played really good structured footy today. They knew who they were going to kick to up forward. They had a game plan straight from the first bounce with Donovan Mullethead in the middle as a ruckman, small ruckman, but did really well in there. Every time he was in there, he won most of his rucks. He got the ball down at Bloomfield. Bloomfield was fantastic. Mullethead was great as well. There was a young fella at half back, number 12.
Oh, Scott Young.
Scott Young was brilliant today. He didn't wait. He just kept running and running and running. And when the Yuendumu forwards didn't go for that footy, there was Young, and he just took it away from them. So, look, both sides, to their credit, fantastic effort. We knew it was going to be a good game. I think both sides, you know, really came out here to play. There was a lot of hard contests, and you know, blokes putting their body over on the line.
Wouldn't expect anything less in finals footy from the bush, and particularly when these two great communities get together. So stay with us on ICTV, hoping to have a chat with the victorious coach, or one of the victorious coaches, a coaching combination for Ginger Porter, Phil Ellis and Daniel Palmer. Some great scenes down on the ground as we speak, though, with players, coaches, officials from both teams giving each other's pats on the back, hugs, handshakes.
That's what it's about, eh?
Great spirit to see, and Phil Ellis getting involved in all of that right at the moment. That final score again, Ginger Porter 13-9, 87 to Yuendumu 8-9, 57, a 30-point margin. They led by 16 at quarter time, 25 at half time, 29 at three-quarter time, and the final margin 30 points down to Andy Hood.
Philip, another good win today for the Gingies, your beloved Gingies. What do you think got you over the line in the end?
Yeah, I think most of the young fellas, they all listened to what we said, you know, and I'm really bloody on top of the world, yeah.
I thought the same. I thought your young fellas today, Dylan had a good game today, your young lad, had plenty of run. Yuendumu got lots of good players, Liam Jarrah, Bongo Williams. How did you shut them out of the game today?
Oh, like I said to most of the blokes, that they had to put pressure on them, 4 quarters straight, put pressure no matter what, you know, yeah. So we just put them away. Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, they played really well too. Yuendumu played really well.
Yeah, I thought they played well, but I thought the pressure was just too good today. A very disciplined game today by the young players at Gingies. Last year you were in the grand final, didn't quite get the result, but this year you're looking again to push into the grand final. You've still got another game to go. What do you think you got to do to take it one step further in 2019?
Well, we're going to go home and just prepare for next week's game, and then just keep on training hard, and just simple things, you know, like manning up at all times, and always listening to the coaches and the managers, and just going out there and playing good hard football. Yeah.
And just one more question. Darren just keeps going on. Darren Young, that's his name, but he's not actually that young anymore, is he? But he's great to your team. And what does he mean to the Gingies for his leadership?
Oh, Young is really good, because he's also like Lance Franklin. So we got our full forward mighty at Sanitaries, and I've been pushing him to play for Sanitaries all the time. So he has done that, and also to most of the other
He's a good leader, isn't he?
He's a good, very good leader, and also other families that came into town today. They also back at the Santa Teresa. Yeah, I just too emotional.
Yeah, it's great. Look, last time, Philip, good luck for the grand final if you get that far, and enjoy the rest of the season. Back up to you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much to Andy Hood, and thank you very much to Phil Ellis. Getting very emotional. He's seen his team now head towards a preliminary final. Talking about Darren Young there, the evergreen Darren Young. Seems like he's been around for a long, long time, but the Buddy Franklin of Santa Teresa.
Look, he's a community legend, Youngie. I remember coaching him in the Red Tails team against St Mary's here at Traeger Park, and even then he was getting a little bit on then, but we rucked him in that game. He was one of our best on ground players. We beat St Mary's, who are the strongest. It's probably one of the strongest clubs in the territory. And but Youngie's performance that night was such a memorable one for him and his family.
Final score again, Ginger Porter 13,987, Yuendumu 8,957. We'll give you the goal kickers before we go. Firstly for Ginger Porter, David Wongway kicked 4, Quinton Ross kicked 3, Darren Young kicked 2. I think that spread there says something. Dylan Ellis also got 2, and 1 each for Kyle Ryder and Jason McMillan. For Yuendumu, the champ, Liam Jarrah kicked 4. Josiah Walker with 2 great goals in the final term, and 1 each to Fabian Dixon and Dion Licklighter with what was probably the goal of the day after a marking contest that he seemed to recover from in the blink of an eye, and then a magnificent snapper goal. Plenty of highlights throughout, but look, it's Ginger Porter that march on. There's a couple of teams getting ready for a game very, very shortly. McDonnell District's Western Arundel. So Ginger Porter will be meeting the loser of that game next week in the preliminary final. And unfortunately for Yuendumu, that's it for season 2019.
That's it.
So away it goes. Plenty more finals action too coming up on ICTV over the coming weeks. Next week, we've got finals across all 3 competitions here in Central Australia, with the Premier League final starting off as well on the Saturday.
Yeah, big week in footy. And this is it. This is where the action happens.
You can actually see on your screen now the games coming up in the following weeks. Yuendumu and Ginger Porter we've just seen. We've got a CAFL Senior Men's semi-final, so that'll be on the Saturday next week. And then preliminary finals in the country competition and the country cup on the Sunday next week, and then prelim final for CAFL and grand finals the week after that for the Bush.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think that CAFL semi-final will be between Souths and Rovers.
So unlike today's knockout semi-final, we'll be taking the double chance semi-final.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
All right, well, it's been great football action on ICTV again this weekend. We look forward to catching up with you again next weekend. Stan Coombe on behalf of Sean Cusack and the rest of the ICTV crew, signing off from Traeger Park.
Many remote communities are running low on water. Water is precious in our community. Hey, what are you doing?
Just filled up the dog bowl. What are you doing?
I'm going